Renting a house in the town, which has lost over 5,300 structures to the wildfires in L.A. County. Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who grew up in Pacific Palisades, lost his childhood home. Kerr's mother and other family members were evacuated on Tuesday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Here they come, y'all, here they come. Here they come, y'all, here they come.
Get out the way. Move.
First things first with Dominique DiPrima at 6 a.m. Tavis Smiley at 9 a.m. Truth Time with Dr. Cornell West and Nina Turner at 12 noon. Here they come, y'all, here they come. Here they come, y'all, here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
The Jesse Jackson Jr. Show at 1 p.m. The D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show at 2 p.m. A More Perfect Union with Dr. Nee Quarterly Quartet at 4 p.m. Here they come, y'all. Here they come. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Get out the way.
Tune in weekdays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the talk of the town. Only on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about. Here they come, y'all. Here they come.
Yeah, y'all, come on.
Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah,
Gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need.
Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power. Fight the power.
All's my life I has to fight. All's my life I hard times like yeah, bad trips like yeah. Nazareth, I'm f***ed up, homie, you f***ed up. But if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be
In the middle
alright.
of what we're going through politically, certainly on the ground here in LA with the fires, and so far we have 10 dead and thousands of structures that have been burned to the ground, and the fire's still continuing. The stories Dr. Nubia Kai shared on this Freedman Friday about our maroon communities and the fighting spirit, the resilience, the incredible resourcefulness of our ancestors is inspiring me now, and I hope it is inspiring you as well. We're taking your phone calls, 800-920-1580, caller amnesty. If you've called before, we are unpacking, sharing, networking, and uplifting one another in the spirit, the real spirit of LA, which is not these whiny billionaires pointing fingers and trying to make opportunist moves at the cost of others' misery, but the incredible number of people who are stepping up, donating, volunteering, and such. And along those lines, South LA Cafe today from noon to 4, giving away water. They say they have as much as you need, food, clothing, and such. And that is in South Los Angeles. And again, you can check them out at South LA Cafe on Instagram, or just drop by there, South LA Cafe, 1700 Browning Boulevard in Los Angeles. Checking back in with us, he's a KBLA contributor, James Farr, lives in Pasadena, and James has been in touch with the Black folks in Altadena that are organizing to help one another. Good morning, James.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
Well, I'm blessed is how I am. No matter how crazy things are, how are you and the family?
Family is good, settled, and hopeful. A lot of hope in terms of the recovery. But right now, folks need relief here in the community. So you can't get to the recovery until there's a bit of relief and anxiety that settles with folks.
Yeah. And there's a group. I saw you on Instagram. We had a text conversation yesterday that there's a number of different Black folks who are doing some self-help and putting together bags, relief bags for others, and just networking to get the word out about what's going on in Altadena.
Absolutely. As Dr. Abdullah would say, we keep us safe, right? And our communities have to do for ourselves. We can't necessarily wait for government help or relief immediately. But yeah, a brother by the name of Brandon Lamar, who is a young, when I say hope, Dominique, this is our hope, right? This young brother has been very active in the community and has taken, while he would say he's not leading it, I'm going to just say he's orchestrating, right? But he's right there hand in hand. But neighborhood servants, POP, which is Pasadena's Organizing for Progress, the Flint Ridge Center. About 10 o'clock yesterday morning, Brandon and his group put out a call to action and a call to the community. And hundreds of people are showing up. I saw one of those big refrigerated trucks show up with water. There's food, there's dog food, there's diapers. You name it, it was there. And that's really a testament to, when you think about Black Pasadena, it has to include Altadena, and the cities are so close that the only thing that divides them is a invisible border. And so I don't think the public understands this fire was indiscriminate, but it's really hitting hard and going to impact, as I shared with you. It's like a micro Katrina here in our community.
If people want to donate now, or if they're in Altadena, Pasadena area, and they need help, how do they connect with you and Brandon and the folks that these community-based organizations that you just mentioned that are helping?
You can obviously contact me through, the DMs on social media. I'm there and I'm checking them.
James
they're
Farr
at the Flint
Live.
Ridge. Yeah, at James Farr Live, and they're over at the Flint Ridge Center. I'm going to try to pull up the address real quick, but they'll be there today from 10 till until they're done, and it will extend throughout the weekend and possibly into next week. The need, I know, they're getting clothes for folks. When you really think about it, you may, it's the end of the year or beginning of the year, coming out of the end of the year, folks may be cleaning out their closet. That dress that you have, that bag people lost everything. So there's a need for everything. They need what they don't even know they need yet. And so that's the best way they can go to the Flint Ridge Center today and drop off. There's a need for gift cards for folks.
That's 236
so
West Mountain Street. Does that sound right? 236 West Mountain
right.
Street in Pasadena. Yeah.
Yes, that's right at the entrance to the Rose Bowl. Folks are familiar with that area. It's right off of the freeway. You can hop right off, or if you're coming in locally, folks know the Flint Ridge Center and the work that they do for justice-impacted community members, as well as their carpenter and construction apprenticeship programs.
James, I know you, and I've heard others in person and on socials just saying that they feel like the Black community is not getting the attention in the media coverage. What can we do to help, or what should we know that we don't know?
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing. Watching what people are seeing. the community, because people just don't perhaps understand the historical contents of the community, and this is no diss to the reporters who are braving fire and smoke and all of those things, but they just don't know the community. They may just see it to an uninformed, it may just seem like a place where some black folks live. But because of the historic redlining that went on many, many, many years ago, you have a larger concentration of black folks that are west of Lake Avenue, which is a main corridor here in the city. And so we need to hear their stories because, these are generational homes for many people. These homes were passed down. Some of these homes, Dominique, the lots are 10,000, 20,000 square feet. The houses maybe, 2,000 or 3,000 square feet. These are large swaths of land and community for folks. Hearing folks talk about their entire childhood memories have been burned to the ground. Another community member texted and said, Farr, there are no more black folks in Altadena. This is going to cut through the community in a way that, I don't know, building will recover, but it just won't be the same. It's Katrina.
And so you people are not confident that they'll be able to come back. I think, I know we're going to cover this more in detail on Monday, but I wanted to also ask you about this curfew. I was kind of surprised to hear, not surprised. I shouldn't say surprised.
I'm like, hold on now.
I'm going to say it. I was angered to hear that they had a curfew in Altadena when there's no curfew in Sunset or Palisades or any of the other fires. So when black people have a fire, we have a curfew. Tell me I'm overreacting.
You're not overreacting, Dominique, and I share that same sentiment. This law and order, tough on crime talk that our district attorney Hockman is spewing, and even our Pasadena police chief, we're going to challenge. Even Supervisor Barger, right? Here's the thing, Dominique. Property crimes and burglary happens every day. Right? It's not a new occurrence. It's unfortunate, and no one wants to be victimized and violated and having their home, burglarized or anything. But this misinformation of looting, I think that's a stretch. But yes, the National Guard.
Well, that part does remind me of Katrina. There are reports of us looting. They're criminalizing victims of a natural disaster, a catastrophic natural disaster, enforcing a curfew when you don't even have a home. And what are they looting? The smoldering ashes of their homes?
Well, there's evacuations, and some people have not returned home as of yet.
Right.
And that we can get into that on Monday, how the information goes out, the alert that went out yesterday. So it's not as seamless. What I will tell you is our electeds and dignitaries, they're on point for the photo ops and the press conferences. That they're there. But unfortunately, sometimes government just doesn't operate as efficiently. And so people are just confused on what's happening. But yes, the National Guard, I haven't seen them yet. But I'm told that they are here.
Yeah, I did. I read that too. But again, is that only in Pasadena, Altadena area?
According to reports I got, is that some will be sent to the Palisades area as well. The problem is, Dominique, when you have mutual aid, which is officers and first responders, and again, we appreciate the firefighters, doing the hero work, right, of fighting these fires. But when you have officers, from Orange County and other parts of the region who may not be familiar with the texture of this community, right, of the city.
To put it mildly.
You run the risk of someone like myself. This hasn't happened to me, but someone like myself walking in my neighborhood and it's like, let me see your papers. So that's the bigger concern that I have, and just the fact that I'm shocked to see the National Guard here. I haven't seen it as out of control as what the media is hyping it up to be.
Well, what I've read so far is that the California National Guard troops arrived overnight to assist with the Eaton fire. They are, the reports I'm seeing do not mention Palisades or anywhere else, only where the black people are.
Well, hope we'll see. You know what I mean? We definitely know that they are here, and they have been dispatched into, this local community. And, I don't think people here are running up on the governor like you may have saw over in Palisades.
Oh, no, because they'd be shot dead if they did that. Yeah, we already know. We already know. You don't get, just like that reporter that was harassing our mayor was definitely white, because you don't get to go all up in the face of a sitting mayor of one of the largest cities on the planet, yelling at her like that. Anyway, if you're not white. We'll see. They're saying they're going to assist with road closures. That's what they're claiming, that the National Guard troops, with all the money these cops got, I would think they could do the road closures, but hopefully the National Guard will make everybody's life easier. That's my super optimistic
It's propaganda.
Yeah.
It's propaganda,
pretty
Dominique.
much.
I mean, in Pasadena, if this were a regular, Thursday, Friday, at night here in the city, there's no more than 10 or 12 officers on patrol for a city of almost 150,000 people, right? So this promulgation of fear, right? And we need police to keep us safe, right? And we all know people, they're reactive, right? Sure, they arrested someone at 3 o'clock, people allegedly with burglary tools or whatever. You would expect that would happen, right? That's kind of when burglars work. But this overwhelming sense that there's this law, and someone texted me this morning, looting, is it going crazy out there? I said, no, it's not. It's just...
It's Katrina all over again in that sense. They're saying that these National Guard troops have come in so LA sheriff deputies can be freed up to patrol neighborhoods and deter possible looters. I'm just thinking there's more to loot in Pacific Palisades. I mean, I'm not suggesting looters go there. I'm just saying if you need patrols in Altadena, surely you need them in Palisades and everywhere else.
What we find, like here in our city, is, a lot of the property crimes are committed by folks that don't live in the city. Right? It's not the locals, right? It's folks. Everyone they arrested the other night was from somewhere else. And so, I mean, that's a different problem. That's a different criminal issue.
Yeah, and to your point, they're claiming KTLA is reporting that they have arrested 20 people. But it doesn't mean those people were looting. It just means they arrested 20 people. Those could have, they arrested 20 black people is what it means.
And I've talked to several people who, felt that the first responders, the police, and not so much the fire, but were a bit insensitive and rude.
Surprise.
Folks were trying to check on their homes and their property. So it's not a full containment. It's no more contained in terms of accessing certain areas than the fire is contained. It's just that if you happen to be on that street where they're stationed, you're going to run into some interference with folks trying to get back into their homes, because now at this point they're trying to either see what's left of their property, salvage whatever they can, and those who have kind of avoided the fire or were spared from the fire they just want to get back home. It's been a couple of days.
Who can blame people for wanting to get back home and see what's going on? James, I really, really appreciate you checking in, and I look forward to talking with you and Brandon on Monday so folks can find out what's going on and how they can help.
Absolutely, Dominique. Thank you so much for raising these stories and these voices, but we have a lot to talk about and a lot more reporting to do. We cannot let this Black legacy just be erased.
Yeah, agreed. And thank you for the great work you're doing, James Farr.
Thank you, Dominique. You have a great day, great weekend. Talk to you soon.
Okay, God bless. Caller amnesty. Taking your phone calls. You can talk about whatever you want. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. If you need help, if you need resources, I have the connects for you. And I'm happy to share. KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud.
A great place for progressive politics.
KBLA Talk 1580. To our beloved greater Los Angeles community affected by the devastating wildfires, we stand with you. From all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, our hearts go out to those who've lost loved ones, homes, businesses, belongings, and precious memories. In these challenging times, we're here to keep you informed and connected. For the latest updates, resources, and ways to help your neighbors in need, stay tuned to KBLA Talk 1580. Together, we'll rebuild. Together, we'll recover. Together, we are Los Angeles strong. KBLA Talk 1580. Your voice, your community, your station.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
So this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
So but this new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
1 in 3 children born today will get diabetes. This sad prediction by the Centers for Disease Control will come true if millions of Americans don't improve their lifestyles, especially by changing what they eat, how much they eat, and how active they are every day. Every 23 seconds, another American gets diabetes. Stop diabetes before it starts. To learn more, contact the American Diabetes Association or download our free diabetes education programs at learningaboutdiabetes.org.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Appreciate you. Phone lines are open. Amnesty is on. You can call about whatever is on your mind. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. Going to Eric, calling us from Carson. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Dominique. How you doing?
I'm blessed. I'm doing my best. How are you?
I'm the same. And I wanted to say that I have a good friend. I won't name his name, but we were talking about black women, and he made a statement that disturbed me. And he is an atheist. He doesn't believe in government. He doesn't believe in police. He doesn't believe in holidays. He thinks that you shouldn't celebrate Christmas, even though he bought his son Christmas presents. He doesn't believe in birthdays, even though he bought his son birthday presents. And he made a statement that pissed me off. And the statement he made, well, before I tell you the statement he made, I just want to say that I've learned recently, I love debating, and I've learned that debating has winners and losers. And discussions you can learn from. So I'm trying to move away from debating and into discussions. And so he told me that women, specifically black women, cannot run Fortune 500 companies. And he challenged me to name one. And he named Bill Gates and Elon Musk. And he caught me off guard. But the next day I told him, well, I think Oprah Winfrey, I'm not sure, but he hasn't responded to my text yet. And I asked him to listen to the radio this morning, so I hope he's listening. So I want you, the woman that I respect, in the top 3 women that I respect, to answer that question for my dear friend.
Well, there are some, but they're very few. Ursula Burns was a famous one. She ran Xerox from 2009 until 2017. She's the most notable one. And Xerox thrived under her, by the way. It's rare, though, to be honest with you. Rosalind Brewer, I think, was over Walgreens. She may still be in that position. I'm not 100% sure. Mary Winston was over Bed Bath & Beyond for a short time. Of course, they didn't make it. There are several others, but I'm looking right here. It's 1.2% of Fortune 500 CEOs are black women. 1.2%. Yeah, Rosalind Brewer still at Walgreens. And she was actually, apparently, according to Forbes, only the 3rd black woman at that time to head a Fortune 500 company when it wasn't on an interim basis. So it's not that we can't. We get brought in when everything is all a mess to fix it. It's just that DEI makes it so that only white men, diversity, equity, and inclusion for white people means that only white men get a shot at the job. It's just kind of like president. 800-920-1580, news, traffic, and sports. Then we are taking your phone calls only right here.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President-elect Trump is being sentenced to unconditional discharge in his New York hush money case. Trump was found guilty on dozens of felony counts of falsifying business records in connection to hush money payments made to an adult film star. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul wants to save TikTok in the United States. He sent a letter to President Biden urging him to give the social media platform a 90-day extension. Edgar Welch, who served 4 years for the Pizzagate shooting, was killed by police in North Carolina after pointing a gun at officers during a traffic stop. Welch was arrested in 2016 for firing a rifle inside a Washington, D.C. pizzeria because he thought it was part of a sex trafficking ring. And the Supreme Court will hear arguments today on a potential TikTok ban. A new law requires TikTok's Chinese parent company to sell the platform by January 19th or face a U.S. ban over national security concerns. I'm Bree Wood on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at Crohn'sColitisFoundation.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The neutral site for the Rams playoff game Monday night against the Vikings appears to be favoring the Vikings. After the NFL made the decision to move the game from SoFi Stadium to Glendale, Arizona, the point spread went up for the Vikings from 1 point to 2.5. Tickets for the game at State Farm Stadium go on sale today at noon. It'll be interesting to see how many Rams and Vikings fans can make the late travel adjustment to get to Glendale, a Phoenix suburb. The Lakers confirmed that coach J.J. Redick is among the residents in Pacific Palisades who lost their home. Redick and his family were renting a house in the town, which has lost over 5,300 structures to the wildfires in L.A. County. Golden State Warriors coach Steve Kerr, who grew up in Pacific Palisades, lost his childhood home. Kerr's mother and other family members were evacuated on Tuesday. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Somebody bring out the confetti, baby!
Starting Monday, January 6th, KBLA Talk 1580 has a new midday lineup.
I'm excited!
Are you ready for Tavis Smiley, Dr. Cornel West, Jesse Jackson Jr., D.L. Hughley, and E. Quarterly Corte back-to-back?
Oh my God!
Are you really ready for all this smoke?
I'm ready, brother.
Yes, we still have Dominique DiPrima in the mornings and Zoe Williams in the evenings, but middays just got lit on KBLA Talk 1580.
We on fire.
All across America, people are talking about our new midday lineup. Starting Monday, January 6th, our KBLA 1580 app downloads are on fire because everybody's going to be tuning in.
Yes, I love you guys. You are the bomb.
Now would be a good time to hit up SMB at KBLA1580.com if you want folks to hear about your business or brand. That's SMB at KBLA1580.com. It's going up in 2025 on KBLA Talk 1580.
It's going up.
That's what I want.
Now we're going to come from Shannon and their client CTPP. This radio.
This is for all the folks who appreciate follow-through. Here's a quick recap of the KBLA Talk 1580 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. More than 6.4 million Southern Californians viewed our climate justice billboards and bus shelters. Another 1.5 million people listened to and or downloaded our weekly conversations with African American climate experts. Our KBLA Climate Justice web portal had 2.8 million unique visitors. Thousands more attended our 7 climate justice community events. More than 9.3 million riders saw our climate care messaging on metro buses and trains. And 39 million Americans accessed our C-SPAN Climate Justice Symposium. All told, our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign exceeded 471 million total impressions. KBLA Talk 1580 thanks all of our 2024 Climate Justice partners: LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Sierra Club, California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, LA City Council member Curran D. Price Jr., the California Wellness Foundation, MWD, AQMD, and the Port of Los Angeles. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
I would add, Eric, that Thasunda Brown Duckett is the CEO of TIAA, and apparently she's the only black woman CEO at this point. I was incorrect. Rosalind Brewer is no longer over Walgreens. So, yeah, it's a rare breed. We can do it. The question is, do we get the opportunity? One of our most world-famous callers is on the phone right now, Paul Lee, joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you doing today?
Like I said, I'm blessed. I feel like all of us are blessed. We're still able to breathe, talk. Even if we have lost our homes, mine is still standing, so I feel very blessed and grateful.
And thank you for your platform. I know I hit you all times of the day, just say, here's some information, because I know this is a prime example of why, we've talked about this. The Nielsen report shows that black people watch more TV than any other race. And where we're getting our information from is basically poisoning the well. In real time this morning when I was at the gym with some of my bros that I've grown up with, a lot of these lies have spewed themselves and are poisoning the well once again. Because they always have used a strategy, going back to Lee Atwater in the Southern strategy, of polluting everything in a hope of scaring white people and also depressing the black vote overall. And I want people to really understand what transpired here why they're blaming Karen Bass. They're using this as another vehicle to repeat what happened in the most recent election. The reason that Kamala Harris is not the president right now is because of the turnout. The same people that showed up in 2020 did not show up in 2024. And that was a goal used through the media. And I just wanted to bring some facts here to the situation since everybody wants to run with the DEI thing. So Bob Blumenfield, who was the city councilman council member of L.A., just said approximately $53 million in the current fiscal year was provided to the fire department overall. However, $76 million intended to pay for fire department personnel was placed in a fund separate from the fire department's regular account when the budget was adopted, because current negotiations with the department employees will still take place at the time. Why that's relevant is they know this, but what they're doing is they're pointing the fingers in real time while we're out here dealing with the loss of everything. And I think that is beyond sad that we've gotten to a point that there's no compassion and there's no empathy, but everything is being politicized.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I wonder if they do know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But the fact is, it is a playbook at this point. Let's undermine this woman's authority. Let's claim that she's a DEI person, even though she's got more experience than Elon Musk and Rick Caruso and Donald Trump all rolled into one. Other than she hasn't been president, but she's actually, held positions in Congress and the state house and now in the mayor's office, built a nonprofit, which is a huge mover and shaker and has moved millions of dollars into black communities and Latino communities too, to help low-income people. I mean, and we can go on and on. She's a community organizer, but they want to undermine with the DEI. They just lie. They lie. About the response, and if you go on the wasteland that is Twitter, the lies they're saying about what's happening here in LA, and what our mayor has or has not done, what the governor has or has not done, are just staggering.
Yes, and you know what's amazing, Dominique? Let me share some facts with you guys about DEI and what they're doing, right? DEI is just a new N-word that they're basically using,
yeah,
right?
Agreed.
What if I told you of the Fortune 500 companies throughout this country today, there's only 8 that are black? Do you know what percentage that makes up? 1.6%. So don't fall for the mumbo jumbo. It's a diversion basically to attack a black woman overall. Black women are the most disrespected and educated group. These are facts. And black men. We are all we have. Right now in our communities, as things are happening and being devastated, I've watched several family members and friends watching their homes burnt in real time.
It's really terrible.
In real time. Burned down. And what they're going to do is get off of social media, and I implore and challenge everyone. Bring our eyes and ears home to black media. Get away from everything that has to do with them. As a matter of fact, when there's social media, you got fan base. You got black-owned vehicles for social media. We are the culture. We invent things. Most people don't even know that a black person created the GPS. A black person created the elevator. A black person created an escalator. They haven't taught us things. We've invented things instead of anything else understanding. Basically, at the end of the day, we are being exploited like always. And at the end of the day, when something happens, these insurance companies, who are the real people doing it, are using us as a diversion to point to us when in reality, they're going to skirt off and not pay out these claims.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. And I think you're right. DEI is the new N-word. The fact that Elon Musk is calling our mayor a DEI mayor when she was duly elected against $100 million in donations that many of which Rick Caruso made to himself because he's a billionaire, and $4 million that came from the police union. Now, the police association, so-called union, now is even telling Caruso to stand down. That's how out of control. You know it's bad when you're the boys who backed you to the tune of $4 million are telling you to stand down. To me, it's a bad look for him. and Musk and Trump, but the media is playing into it. I mean, the fact that they're repeatedly playing this soundbite of a woman going, "Why was there no water in the hydrants?" instead of talking to actual fire officials that can tell you why, or repeatedly playing this reporter, this overseas reporter attacking our mayor and demanding an apology when he clearly doesn't know the facts. And that's going to be played over and over again for other people who don't know the facts. I wish she would have told him to screw off. I really do. But at the end of the day, it's really sabotage journalism. It's gotcha journalism, and it's not even fact-based. I feel like, you've got regular everyday people showing up at the Flint Ridge Center and the Rose Bowl parking lot and the South LA Cafe and donating water and clothing and food and diapers, everything people need, pet food. And by the way, that's available for free and it's ongoing right now today. Meanwhile, the billionaires are up there whining like a bunch of B words. And you know what, Elon? You know what, Rick? Put on your hard hat and bring out your checkbook. How about that?
And they won't do that.
You want to be a hero? You want to be elected? You want to be a hero? Show up and help somebody. No, they just want to talk on Twitter because they think we're so stupid and naive and gullible that we'll just go, "Oh yeah, she's a DER. Oh yeah, the LA City Fire Chief is a lesbian. That means she must not know." Are you kidding? The LA City Fire Department is 92% white men. 92%. Oh, you have a woman chief? You think she got there by playing hopscotch? I don't think so. You have to fight your way up the ranks in an organization like that. And they pretend there is no LA County fire chief, who also happens to be a white man. Not that that makes him any more qualified, but to their point, they conveniently skipped that. 92% of firefighters in LA are white men. We have had a long-term problem with this. So yeah, we've had some outreach programs and initiatives to include more black people and women. Does that mean we don't know what we're doing? Absolutely not. It angers me because I feel like they're taking tragedy and using it as a cudgel to attack a black woman. Really, a mayor? Presidents fly all over the world all the time. They've got satellite phones. They have all kinds of communication means that ordinary people don't have. And they are in constant contact and command of their cities.
Yes. And Dominique, while I'm talking, and I try to share the facts with people, we have a problem, people, in our community of education. Like, there is a lot of bad disinformation and misinformation that is seeping itself through because we've had this discussion for the last several years. And this is Russian propaganda. This is exactly what it is. As people are getting their information from social media clips, 10-second clips, and they aren't fact-checking, our community, especially for what we're coming into, is going to need to be ironclad with educating ourselves and how we're going to move together. Dividing ourselves and pointing fingers and hating ourselves is exactly what they want. And I want to share this, Dominique, because this is one of the bigger concerns from after the Brown versus the Board of Education that most people don't pay to, which have led to where we are today. Most people don't know, prior to 1954, there were 82 black teachers. Currently, at this point, more than 38,000 black teachers, after the decision, were let go and fired. And who were they replaced with? So now we have generations of us that are getting further and further away from the civil rights movement and knowing our history and our identity. History is repeating itself. Why? Because we're not educating ourselves.
Well,
we could be better at.
I mean, I agree with you, but I also think I have some hope for the younger generation. I think Generation A and Generation Z, they're more media literate. They're more savvy than Gen X, the boomers, and even the millennials. Sorry, Miles, because they grew up with this stuff. And I mean, I know you still have, I think, you still have Dylan Roof, who I think is Gen Z. So obviously there's still hate in these areas, but our children and our grandchildren, the Gen Z and Gen A, they're more media literate. They're quicker to say that's AI than we are. And we need to, maybe we need to learn from them.
Yes, that's just it. You just nailed it. The problem is a lot of the older guard, the power controllers within parties aren't willing to pass the baton on. There is a messaging issue here. And why would they when they keep enriching themselves? And that's both parties that are doing it.
Well,
so it's really, at the end of the day, it's a class war.
Yeah, no, I think that's right, Paul. I think that's right. You always have great points and excellent information, and I appreciate you. You're like the chairman of the chat room. I think I just gave you a new nickname, Paul. And he always comes armed with facts, which I love. Not too late to call me, 800-920-1580. And we have a lot to share as far as resources, help if you need it, fellowship if you need it. We're here for you. That's what we do. That's what we're put in place to do. It's our mission. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach, transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal, prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
All right, so the felon-elect has been sentenced. What's called an unconditional discharge. You want to talk about white privilege or a class war, to Paul Lee's point. That means that he will be officially convicted of 34 felonies, but he won't have prison. He won't get fined, no probation. It's just a conviction. Prosecutors said that, quote, "We must be respectful of the office of the presidency." How about this for being respectful of the office of the presidency? Don't install felons in it. And speaking of whiny billionaire bees, this guy, the president-elect, says there was no case. He calls it a despicable charade. No, you got off. That's what happened. You got off easy. You got off because you got elected. And I feel sorry for the folks that believe in you. He says the radical Democrats have lost another pathetic un-American witch hunt. This is on Untruth Social. and that there was no case. No, you were convicted. Clearly there was a case. You got convicted of 34 felonies. Those convictions stand. You enter the White House as a convicted felon with 34 counts. You could not be a hairstylist in California and get certified. However, you can be president of the United States, so have at it. And I actually kind of agree with him that it's a despicable charade. I think they should have at least fined him. You get 34 felonies for fraud, and you just get to skip to my Lou on out of there. Crazy. But nevertheless, I consider that a victory. At least they didn't, wimp out on making him an official felon. Let's go to Carl calling us from L.A. Good morning, Carl.
Hey, good morning, Dominique. Enjoy the weekend. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm doing my best. How are you?
Hey, me too. Every day. Hey, look, you know what they say, investigate all your information that you get. And the professor always tells you this class consists of a lot of book reading. So
we need to do a little bit more of it, I think.
Yeah. Hey, no, your first caller, your other caller that got up before me was talking about information and all that kind of stuff in the media and stuff. So, the professor always tells you, get a book and investigate all your questions and everything, Hey, but look, your guest that just left off of there at 7 o'clock, oh, wow, that blew my mind. That was pretty deep. Give us information on that book, and I'll go over to the library, and I'll make sure that they put it in the library. I always go over to and read every now and then.
It's called I Spread My Wings and I Fly. And she is Dr. Nubia Kai. I Spread My Wings and I Fly. I'm putting it in the chat now on YouTube so that you can go get it. I love that idea of putting it in the libraries. I think I'm going to get some of those and give them out to people because I found it very inspiring.
Yeah, the one over on La Brea over there, that library right there, they usually keep some books up in there.
Well, yeah. You mean good books.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all libraries have books. At least so far. We'll see if that stands during the next administration. Maybe libraries will become burger stands or something. Who knows? But for now, they all have books.
Yeah, well, sometimes when you request a book up in there, it takes them a little while to get it, but they finally get it, though, if it's a black book. Yeah, they'll end up having it on the shelf. Yeah. Hey, look, she was blowing my mind with this... going way back to Confederate days and all that stuff. I'm still stuck on Arkansas. The Arkansas Razorbacks, but they got a pretty good archives at the University College back there. And I was looking up that Ellen massacre that happened and the Argentina race riot that happened, and I'm stuck right there up in it. And they got books out there on it. I mean, when everybody left that Tucker plantation.
Well, come on and land for me, Carl, because we're coming toward the end of the show here. Okay.
Okay. Well, I was just calling, checking in, and happy to talk with you today. Enjoy the weekend.
Oh, you too. I'm always happy to talk with you, Carl. Carl is one of the KBLA delegation delegates who goes back with me to the front page when I used to host a show at 4:30 in the morning. So I appreciate you, and I'm always happy to hear that you're doing well. I think we need to be the information army team, defending our city, our neighbors, our community, our race, and our mayor. Yes, our mayor. She's under unfair and deliberate attack. They're trying to do to her what they've successfully done to many others. And as I pointed out in my Twitter, because I'm still over there in that swamp, the owner of the LA Times showed his behind and showed you exactly where he's coming from by piling on an attack on her on Twitter with no facts to back it up, even though he claims he's going to institute a bias meter and real fact-checking from the LA Times. Well, I trust that as far as I can throw it, especially after seeing his tweets during this pandemic. But I want to end on kindness, unity. I want to end on the real LA. The real LA stands up and helps each other. The real LA gets to know its neighbors. The real LA embraces and uplifts the people of Altadena, the black folks there who are struggling right now. If you need help, South LA Cafe today, 1700 Browning, from 10 a.m. to 4. They'll be giving out water, food, and other resources. So they need volunteers. You could also donate there if you have donations. There are many, many resources. We'll be talking about them all day long. And there's a GoFundMe, LA Fires, the impacted Black community urgently needs help. That's what it's called. Put up there by Ivy McNeil, Wyatt Purcell and Diggs, our friend and colleague Jasmine Canick, and the Cochran firm, specifically to help Black people at this time. Every dollar will go to them. There's also the Flint Ridge Center in Pasadena, where there are supplies being gathered and given. Black-led, community-based organizations and individuals out there helping other Black folks, and you are invited to go there to help or to receive help. That's at 236 West Mountain Street in Pasadena. If you're looking to find out about the free Airbnbs or how to find shelter for yourself or your pet, citywide you call 211. Countywide you can call 311. Our dear friend Charlotte here at the station, part of Omni Ministries. If you're in LA County and you need food, you can call them, 310-631-1557, or go to Omni Ministries Inc. at yahoo.com. That's if you want to Zelle them. Mutual Aid LA Network on Instagram has a comprehensive list that they're updating. It's a Google Doc, and you can log on to that comprehensive list of shelters and other kinds of help. And you can follow South LA Cafe on Instagram. You can follow LA Mutual Aid Network LA. There's a lot of people stepping up, a lot of people helping. The winds should die down by the end of the day. Firefighters have made quite a bit of progress. They'll make more over the weekend, but winds will kick up again reportedly next weekend, so we must be ready. We must be kind, and we must remember who the real LA is. The real LA is people helping people, resilience. The real LA is showing love. The Best of Tavis Smiley is up next. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Let's keep in touch on social media. Let's keep in touch. Until next time, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. President-elect Trump is being sentenced to unconditional discharge in his New York hush